Ting's on the camera.
Oh, it's so adorable.
Right, where are we going to now? Journeying off, going here, there and everywhere. Oh, that's right, the East Anglian Yarn Crawl. Brand new. Can't wait to tell you all about it. It's been and gone now, so you can't do it. Sorry. Now, the summer, as you can imagine, is very hard for us yarn shops. Most people stop knitting. Most of my customers stop knitting. It's too hot. And in fact, it's not just about the weather. As soon as the clocks change in March and we get the extra daylight, most people are out in the garden or travelling around. So a lot of my customers literally stop. Hence why we've got the fabric. The fabric kind of sells better over the summer period than the wool does. And yes, there are a few of you constant ones who are always knitting. Irene, for one, who always knits. And she's one of those, and I know there are many out there, that when they're watching TV in the evenings, they feel that's wasted time and they can't have their hands resting doing nothing, so they have to knit. So Irene knits every afternoon and every evening. But there's not enough of those type of knitters to keep the shop going. So we had this idea of doing the East Anglian Yarn Crawl. I say we, it's a fellow shop owner from Yarn Works in Hadley, and it's run by Teresa and Gavin, husband and wife. And Gavin was chatting away and said, oh, have you ever thought of doing a yarn crawl? And actually, I said to him, I had, because you Americans out there who watch have lots of yarn crawls, and I've been quite envious of that. I've often seen the Chicago one, the Texas one, the Brooklyn one, the New York one. It's phenomenal. And that's because you've got a lot of shops very close together. And I have thought of trying to do one here 3 or 4 years ago, but never kind of nailed the format. But with Gavin and Teresa from Yarnworks saying, oh, have you ever thought about it? Just meant that conversation started. And we had more and more discussions. I would finish here early and go back to their shop. They've got aircon at their shop. You must go to Yarnworks in Hadley. It's just off the Hadley, the bypass. So it takes no time at all to get to it. And it's beautiful aircon in there. But when you go and see their wall of yarn, oh, hand-dyed yarn, wonderful. Anyway, so I would go there and we'd have a cup of tea and we would chat. And that's been really refreshing, having someone to talk to in this business. And I think that's the thing I've missed from teaching is my team. We were a huge drama team of 4 full-time staff, and we would be sharing ideas, contributing together, and then as a leader I'd say, oh no, well perhaps we'll do this, or we'll try that, or what about this, or that's a great idea. And I have missed that. So it's been lovely going to there, talking through this yarn crawl idea, and we came up with a format. It has indeed brought in new customers, and those new customers have actually spent too. There was a no purchase necessary thing. We've got a prize to give to everyone for just visiting and getting a stamp, but actually most people, I think, understood why we were doing it and therefore spent as well. So that has been invaluable, because August is very difficult, and for me it's even more difficult because I have to pay my rent in September, and it's done over every 3 months. So I kind of have a June, July and August. So June I breathe a sigh of relief and knowing I've paid my rent, but when I get to sort of mid-July I'm like, I can't buy any wool because I haven't got enough income to pay for those bills. So I literally just pray for people buying fabric, because it does go very quiet. So the yarn crawl just brought in customers, it brought in chatter, and I heard many people going, I never heard of your shop, I didn't know about this, and it's been wonderful. And to have a bit of fun, I know you like seeing him, Ting, when he's on the Sewing Bee videos, and he used to, back in the day when we could all sort of come together and sit in the shop, we would film with Anya and Ting. I went to him a couple of weeks ago because he's on some holidays because he still teaches, and said, oh, do you fancy doing a trip to some yarn shops? And he went, oh, do I have to? Yes, you do. Have a look at this and our fun adventure on the knitted ships route of the East Anglian Yarn Crawl. On location for the East Anglian Yarn Crawl 2022, our first year ever doing it. And when I was making it up, I thought, oh, would it be good to have a route, a special route? You know, like you do those nature trails and you do the blue route or the red route. Well, I've made the route up where I am today called the Knitted Ships route. So we go to start at the bottom here at Langard Fort, and we had a nice little start with our breakfast, didn't we, Ting?
Yes.
Oh, I need to show. Look, Ting's on the camera. So we're now going to take a 2-mile route just up to Crafty Lasty Yarn. Then we're going to go into the car again, up towards Woodbridge, about 10 miles, 20-minute drive to go to the Knitter's Attic. And then the longest part of the route is up the A140 up to, oh, and the heavens have opened, it's starting to rain, up to Diss, to the Diss Woolen Craft Shop. And then that's our little route done. 3 yarn shops in a day. Then you get your passport out at each yarn shop and you get your sticker, no purchase necessary. You get your sticker at every yarn shop. Every yarn shop you visit, you get a prize draw, so you might win something from that shop. If you visit all 6 yarn shops, you get the grand prize draw too. So we're off and we're going to show you the Knitted Ships route of the 3 shops. So our first one to go to is Crafty Lasty Yarn. Come on, Ting, let's go.
So down here, past this sign here,
What, the curve?
the curved road, and it's the one with the shed.
Oh, right.
Here.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I can pull in. Oh, yes. Oh, look at that. There it is. Crafty. And obviously it's closed today. We knew it was going to be closed because it's Monday. Michelle, this little sign there, but can you see?
Mm-hmm.
Lovely, delightful little place. So we had a drive through the back roads from Crafty Lasty Yarn. That was good. We didn't get too lost.
Be round this bend on the left. It's this one here with the tree.
Oh right. Oh yes, look at the
That.
Knitter's Attic. It's got the thing on the front there. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Closed.
So just go right the way around.
And I think it would be down there. Oh yes, look, they are. There's a sign. So you park here and walk down there around the back. Well, there we are.
Okay.
Obviously, it would be nice to go in, but closed because they've all got the day off. I've got a day off. So here we are in Diss, and we're about to go into the car park. We started off at Felixstowe with the sea, and we're going to end up here at Diss with the Mere. So we're going to walk by the Mere, up through a lovely little pedestrianised town centre. Get your walking feet back on, Ting. So what was that, about half an hour, 35 minutes up from the Knitter's Attic?
Probably.
Yeah.
Might be a bit longer.
A bit longer. We did go the back way through Debenham and I, which is lovely. There you are, look at that for a vista. Welcome to Diss Woolen Craft Shop. Oh no, it's in the window even. Look, there's the passport. Yeah. Tuesday to Saturday. Can you see the sign?
Okay.
That's right. All like sell style, she got style. All done. Go for tea now, aren't we?
Yeah, now I'm off cameraman.
Going back home. back to Melton, to the tea shop in Melton, and putting our feet up. There we are, 3 shops in a morning. The Knit and Ships route. If you do it, let us know. Come and write in the description below. But one of the routes that you can do on the East Anglian Yarn Crawl, the first one, 2022, and enjoy. Right. So lovely to see all those different yarn shops with all that wool on offer. Talking about wool, are you ready to see another knit? This is by Irene this time. James N. Watts. Shall we see it? But actually, little tease. Wait before we see that. I think we need to see your finished makes because it's been an age. 3 months worth of work, finished objects in the gallery. It's going to be epic. So get comfy, put your knitting down. I know you've been listening to me whilst knitting, but this needs your full attention, and watch the wonderful work coming up in the gallery. Speechless. Stunning. Absolutely amazing. You just keep doing it. And you know what I was saying about people, the small few dedicated who will continue to knit, sew, create, regardless of the weather and the summer. They're all there. That's you. Keep it up. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much for hashtagging us. Hashtag the wool patch. It means we're able to find them and then make this wonderful gallery every time. Love looking at your work, and it's such a huge inspiration. So thank you for taking the time, not only when you hashtag, but you write in the designer, the pattern, and what yarn you used, because it really does inspire people. And in turn, it might make people then buy that yarn, especially if I sell it and they buy it from me. It's win-win for everyone. So wonderful, wonderful work. Right, yes, we've been waiting long enough, haven't we? A pattern by James N. Watts, knitted by Irene. I'm seeing it everywhere now. Perfect timing, especially as we've been inspired by all the sheer work that we've seen from Dolce & Gabbana. Let's take a look. Let's take a closer look.
Let your body take control. You're on my mind, baby. Just move a little closer. And I say, oh, it's a night we'll both remember. Oh, sweet surrender. Oh, we're moving close together. Wanna make
How cool is that? This was released by James N. Watts in February 2022. And I was like, wow, that's how fitting is that with what I'm looking at with Colin, with the sheer work and Colin working on that wonderful crochet, which was already being done. He was getting close to finishing it in February, March time. So then seeing how this all fits in, it's just fabulous. So I just have to have it. I will say that was straight for Irene. I thought, oh, I'll be all fingers and thumbs doing that. So I went to Irene, and this is what's so good about Irene. I gave her this pattern. Nothing phases Irene. She is a classic knitter, yet she's also a very modern knitter. You give her a pattern and Irene will knit it. So clever. I used a different yarn, obviously, because I want to use yarn that I've got in my shop. And I've got some black. Black doesn't sell in the shop. So I very rarely order black. I have it in the West Yorkshire Spinners Colour Lab, double knit, and I have it in this, which is felted tweed, Rowan, in double knit. And this was a new colour last season, actually, the K Facet colours. And you like think, oh, K Facet black. But yes, you need that to add a bit of punch when you put your other bright colours next to it, like a bright sulphur green, yellow, or a vibrant tangerine orange. And I thought, well, that black's been sat on the shelf for way too long. So I thought, do you know what? I will try and do it in this. And again, this is where Irene did have to change the pattern a bit because of gauge. You are supposed to knit it with a lace weight. So if I've got the pattern here. It says here, Pure Mesh Pullover is a tight fishnet sweater with full-length sleeves. All sizes can be knit with one skein of La Bien-Aimée Felix. This sweater is knit flat, bottom up and seamed. The low yardage and large needles makes this a quick, satisfying and sexy knit. Was done with La Bien Amie, which is a lace weight, so it would be really fine. And I give Irene double knit. The wonders of Irene, she adapts the gauge. Don't ask me how. Say that's the wonderful work of Irene. I say, oh, I want this. She'll start knitting. She'll go, oh, that's too small. Oh, and she'll adapt it or go up a size or change the needle size. It's incredible what she does. What's the word? Not artisan. Well, you could say she's a master tailor. She's definitely a couturier. That is couture, and I think that's what we've got to start using more. That terminology. She's a hand knitter, yes, but there is also an awful lot of preconceptions or stereotypes of what a hand knitter is, and sadly, some of them, more often than not, are negative. That is couture work. It's stunning. It's artisan. That is the experience needed to adapt that pattern. And she'll just come in and she'll try it on. Oh yes, that's a bit small. And I'll say, oh yeah, we'll have to. That's got to be a bit bigger. She'll go away and process that. Whether that means going up a size, whether that means going up a needle size, she works all of that. That's skill and experience. That is couturier. Craftsmanship at its best, and we need to big up these people with these skills because it is quite phenomenal. You ready to see it on? Yeah. Black vest or white vest? What do you say? White vest. Okay, white vest it will be. Here we go. See you in a bit. Boom. There we are, the Pure Mesh Pullover by James N. Watts, knitted by Irene. Isn't it incredible? Love it. What do you think with the white vest up underneath, the D&G style? Two stunning sheer knits for summer. James N. Watts Pure Mesh Pullover, or my phenomenal handcrafted, self-drafted pattern from the couturier Colin in crochet. No pattern existed, worked it out. It's just quite phenomenal, isn't it? These skills of these people, just amazing. So here we go. So this was James N. Watts, published February 2022. You go on Instagram, use the hashtag Pure Mesh Pullover. Some stunning coloured versions in variegated yarn, big pop orange, big pop lime green, or classic boring black like me. It's wonderfully airy. Can you imagine me walking down Felixstowe Promenade? We were chatting, Irene and Sue Friday, about, is it a fine line? Yes, James says it's a sexy, tight fishnet sweater. That look of fishnet, but not necessarily having those connotations that go with it, or does it? What do you think? Let me know. Should we try it with the black? Do you want to see it with the black? Because I actually think I prefer it with the black. Okay, there we are. Let's go. Don't move, and I'll be back in 3 seconds. And here's the black. What do you think? See, there's something more. I feel like a stage performer in a cool show. It feels more like a costume. Just seems to elevate it a bit more. Could be wrong. Let us know in the comments. It will certainly get the conversation flowing for sure. But wonderful. Colin, Irene, you are true couturiers. Love it. Love what you do. For me, the shop, the vlog, we have fun talking about it here, knitting it. I love watching it. Oh, yes. Ooh, perhaps I forgot to mention about the new one that Colin's doing. I'll give you a quick flash. You ready? I know some of you are going to get ready on that pause button too. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, and back at you. Oh, the polo top. I want one of those. And, Colin, he goes, oh, yes, I could do that. and it's been fascinating. I've gone over and had a fitting already one evening as we watched some TV and caught up with the latest of the fashion houses. So I've given him Summer Light DK khaki. Oh, wasn't selling very well, but it's a lovely colour. See, when something doesn't sell, I just have something knitted into it. Who could ask for more? Oh, talking about a knit, we need to finish off Guess the Year, don't we? Are you ready? You ready to lock in? What are your thoughts? Right, well, you're going to have to lock in the next 5 seconds. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. What is it? You might just be right. Ready? This pattern was released in 2014. You were miles wrong, weren't you? You were miles off. Or were you? If you got it right, brilliant, well done. If you didn't, there'll always be a next time. Before we go, just want to talk to you about the Lavenham Blue 2022 collection, which was launched in August. Thrilled how excited you were for it. It's wonderful that so many of you are investing in this project, and it means a lot. It is completely unique. Let's get it here. Here it is. This is the 2022 collection. Wonderful is that. See, these labels are made just down the road at the local print factory. It was a blend of Rylands and Cheviot. They were a small flock, literally 5 minutes from my house. So I've just left my house and I'm walking down the road, literally, to the farm where this year's 2022 collection Lavenham Blue has come from. I'm so excited. Ooh, you eat my camera. You're so friendly. So we're in the field. We've got sheep's food. Right. Look! You and the sheep. Come on. I can hear them. Look. Oh, it's so adorable. They're so fluffy. So this is the fleece that you'll be knitting up with.
Hermione.
There we are. But look at that, yeah, beautiful. There we are. So that's making up the 2022 collection. Look at you, aren't you pretty?
Oh, well, she's a Ryland.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, there's that teddy bear look, isn't it? Hello, everyone. Hello. Delightful sheep, delightful little farm. You know, the farmer's got some money for it. Currently, farmers hardly get anything for their fleece when they send it off. So many of them are burning them or burying them. So you are really investing in local, everything local. The farmer gets something, I get something, the shop gets something. Money I then spend back in the local community. It all goes back into the local community. That's what local is all about. All the variegateds went, all the denim blues have gone, all the light blues have gone. I'm left with a few, just what we call blue. Classic blue. It is beautiful. Still some. It's very rustic. It's not a merino. It's not a blue face Leicester. If you had the 2020 collection, which was Romney's and blue face Leicester, that was soft. This is certainly woolly-er and more rustic. Just a quick note before we finish. I have now. Oh, look at these. Can you see the variegateds there? This is what I am calling Bradford Blue. Yeah, we've got Lavenham Blue, Collection, which is yarn I source, Bradford Blue, and I think some of you can probably already work it out. Bradford and many other cities in Yorkshire or West Yorkshire were pivotal in the Industrial Revolution for moving and advancing wool, cotton, textile trade. Everything went mechanic. We went from little villages, cottage industries like Lavenham, where everything was done by people and hand, to then suddenly the Industrial Revolution of the northern cities of Leeds, of Bradford, and the factories and the machines taking place. I think one was called, was it the Jenny? These machines that started spinning more and producing more. Basically, it's commercial yarn. So I've called it Bradford Blue. This is the wonderful Shopple yarn. Remember I was telling you in my last vlog, it's 75% merino and 25% biodegradable nylon. Nylon normally degrades over 30 years in that sort of tip setting where there's no oxygen, and that's when the things can come out and eat away, all that bacteria can eat away. But it takes the bacteria 30 years to get through nylon because of that man-made structure. Shopple have made this biodegradable nylon. Basically, they've made the nylon, in my head, it's like almost with holes. So the bacteria can get in to the nylon quicker and then break it down. And it will break down in tip settings, not whilst you're wearing it, but in tip settings where there's no oxygen, it will break down within 5 years. It's phenomenal. So I've invested in Shopple blank yarn. So this is commercial, like any indie dyer will do. They will go to certain companies. Chester is the big company where many indie dyers will buy their blanks from, and that's where you'll see Blueface Leicester, merino, Syri alpaca and whatnot. But it was the nylon and that biodegradable that just I thought I wanted to invest in that. This has it's 150 grams and it's fingering weight. So you will get a pair of socks out of that, and you'll actually get a larger shawl because it's 150 grams and not 100 grams. And it's done in my Lavenham Blue. And look at the stunning different effects you get. Commercial yarn seems to, because of the nylon, seems to take the woe differently. That just drinks it, hence why it's nearly all blue. Whereas this, it's just so much more variegated and you get so much more fun. Fun to knit if you were doing a shawl or a pair of socks. And then, this is from Chester, and you might have seen these about many places. Minis! 20 gram minis. Look at that wonderful fade. Oh, let's do it like that. That's better, isn't it? Look at that wonderful fade set. Look at that denim. See, that one goes so quick and the lights go so quick. But these will soon be on the website too. 20 grams, Blueface Leicester and nylon. Again, great for socks or shawls, but they're 20 grams. So you can do a fade set shawl, or you could do heel and toe differences with socks. It's stunning. Oh, and I know many of you asked for it. Here is my madder attempt. Brick red, that is, isn't it? It is stunning. my first attempt, it takes a lot longer to dye the process than wode. So I've just got to get used to that. I've got to get used to the extra step of mordating the yarn. You don't have to do that with wode, you see, in indigo. So I've just got to learn that new step. So I might do more of this, but not on my Lavenham Blue 2022 base. I'm afraid, because that's pretty much all gone. I will experiment with madder on commercial. It was lovely to start doing, but it was quite overwhelming. And you know what? I'm like, oh yeah, I'll do that for this year. I'll do that. But the reality of it was just very, very difficult. So that's an ongoing project for next year for sure. Whoa! Well, there we are. Thank you for staying and watching for so long. It's been lovely, lovely catching up with you. I missed you, really have. Thanks for joining in, and I'll see you on the next one. Jerry, bye.